You know, I'm feeling kind of confident in LGD because B-Cup went for LGD, and he's generally been pretty good on the China Dota front. You know, this is kind of your home turf. You got some decent reads. Do you have any more reasons behind your LGD pick in this one, Ben?
Yeah, do you have any reasons other than rumbling?
Maybe a bit of
other than rumbling. I think Ame is just a really good Monkey King. I don't know if that's really analytical. It's one of his top heroes, and then Nothing to Say has had some great performances in the past on Magnus. So I look at those two heroes as comfort heroes for them, and potentially two heroes that can.
Scary.
Yeah, Zeus is going to be scary.
Like they need a lot of blink daggers and a lot of. I feel like Zeus's mistakes even for him to get caught out. Because if he doesn't get caught out, you know, a lot of damage from him. How do you deal with that damage?
You don't think like the Moonlight Shadow, the Blink, which the Magnus is going to get, you've got Tree Dance on the Monkey. Like, I don't know, I feel like this game is just going to award the aggressor so much, and that can kind of come down to the teams. Do you not think that's the case?
It really feels like it's all on Zeus to itemize and position himself properly. If he does that, there's no way they catch him. Even with Mirana ulti and whatnot, you can read these movements.
All right, fair enough, fair enough. Well, the game is paused, by the way, guys, so we're not missing out on any action right now. How do you think each of these lanes are going to go? Obviously, you've said mid, a little bit Zeus favored, but to be honest, it's a mag. He's just going to go and farm anyway. Probably going to be a 50-50 on that lane. What about the safe lane for LGD with their Monkey?
It's against the Batrider, I already said.
It's Monkey AA, right?
Monkey AA, they struggle against the Batrider.
Batrider is tough, yeah.
It's a really tough matchup.
All right, does look like we're back into the game this time for good, so we're going to send it across to our casters, B-Cop and Black, our favorite father-son, casting duo for game number 1 of LGD versus IG.
Thank you
panel.
So much, yeah.
Yeah, appreciate it that you spent some more time with us.
Yeah.
Because we're feeling a little bit lonely here.
Always. I'm trying to get some communication out, get some family bonding time, and I mean, that always helps.
In all honesty, though, it can go either way, really. Like this Weaver, a battle lane, can get absolutely destroyed by Mars Mirana. If you get speared away, you get arrowed on top of that, you can just get exploded, like even if there's an Abaddon there. Or even the Abaddon himself can just blow up. And I mean, it's the same really for the other lane, though. Like Bad Rider as well as Shaman, they will pressure the living hell out of AA Monkey. It is such a tough matchup for them. And then mid lane, as we said, both are probably just going to farm, which I feel like always really benefits the Zeus, because Zeus has a lot of matchups where he is very heavily pressured. But the Magnus doesn't pressure Zeus like at all.
Yeah, so we'll see how good Zeus's game goes. One of the things I want to note is usually when we see a combination like this, a hero that can kind of survive in lane by itself, which is the Mars, right? Like a couple levels, all of a sudden I think Mars may not be able to get a lot of farm, but could play it safe, stay, sustain, survive, and that's what LGD do a lot because they want Jinku to have effectiveness around the map. You know, especially, I would give the example when he plays his techies, it comes down to Faith Beyond, who's really good at securing his lane. He's very consistent in the off lane, usually secures his farm whether or not he's with Jinku in the lane. So I'm expecting, what, level 2, level 3, maybe Mirana to make a lot of moves. Once that 4-minute mark comes in, I expect him over mid and then moving around the map constantly. Yep. Like, that's just the way they play. And if that's successful, especially if they can maybe land an arrow on Emo, because that can help them close the gap, right?
Certainly.
Potentially, that turns into an advantage here for Nothing to Say. But like you said, it's hard to really mess with the Zeus.
Tower.
Oh, skewer under the tower.
He might just be dead here.
Body block's coming in, and Emo's already in trouble. I think the damage is there. He's going to drop for first blood.
Okay.
Great play there from Nothing to Say. You get a lot of these interesting mid matchups in terms of the players. And, you know, Nothing to Say used to sit at the 1 position in the rankings. It was like him and XM for a long time. They were duking it out back and forth. And, you know, you see like Nothing to Say Emo or XM or Ori, Somnus, like all these high ranked matchups. And right there, I mean, that's Nothing to Say making a glorious move for first blood.
Sure is. But there's a huge mistake on the Zeus's end. Like, you can't just get skewered like that other one. Like, he has no shockwave. There's no way he should ever really realistically reach you. But of course, like, you know, it takes a lot of skill to recognize these mistakes and turn them into something good, which Nothing to Say did. But yeah, like, Emo has to be really careful here. If you give Magnus such a good start, he already farms really fast.
Yeah.
You give him an even better start, he's gonna snowball just that much harder. Also, we saw 2 sentry wards picked up on the Mirana, so he's gonna be quite heavily, you know, de-warding the big camp and maybe even warding and blocking the small camp. Because picking up 2 sentries level 1 is quite the investment.
Right.
150 gold there. But yeah, Monkey King seems to be doing just fine. I will have to see how much a nerf Bad Rider can really do, you know. Like, if even a Monkey AA can beat a Bad Rider lane now, I'm absolutely convinced that the hero is just not playable.
Yeah, I mean, the value, I think a lot of people just haven't really gauged it since the nerf at the right point. Like, we're still seeing this hero be a prioritized pick quite a bit. And it's surprising because that he got nerfed pretty heavily. You don't normally see a hero get nerfed like that and then all of a sudden continue to stay in a prioritized pick.
Yeah, I can already see the sentry was down here, which Dire won because they had one additional sentry. So Abaddon will have to fly out some more sentries himself. Because this lane is really just all about Weaver being able to Tsukushi around. Harris with Tsukushi, lasted with it. If you get caught up with a spear, arrow combination is a lot of damage.
The question is, you know, does the Abaddon have the mana to get an Aphotic Shield? Does it give you enough time to maybe get out of that combination?
Yeah. Or if they go on Abaddon himself, he can die really fast.
Yeah.
There's a lot of aggressive potential here from that Mars Mirana lane. One of the most damaging dual lanes in Dota.
And so Zeus is farming pretty well. He's 17-1 with the Magnus is 17-3.
Yeah. This is a lane Zeus should win.
Yeah.
Like, this first part was really a big blunder.
But it's a big wonder because, you know, he was standing right next to the Magnus. I wasn't expecting him to be so
really
close. Yeah, and that's ending up what gets him into a lot of trouble. JT getting pressured, cold feet on him. The Jingu does go off.
I actually can't believe that Monkey is just free farming here.
11-3 for JT.
Yeah, but as the levels go higher, it's going to get a little more difficult because level 1, level 2 Bad Rider is very weak. So
Yeah.
level 4, level 5 Bad Rider, probably the Monkey will have to switch out lanes. They'll start to have to gank this Bad Rider, you know. Because once he's 6, he still has a lot of damage potential.
Do you think they should have potentially picked a more JT hero, Tide, Underlord, something that's going to suit him better in this lane?
Yeah, JT is not really known for his Bad Rider, but more like his Timbers and stuff.
Yeah, Timber, Tide, Underlord, those kind of heroes, those tanky frontliners or playmakers. Firefly,
He has 9 stickies
stacks,
on him.
he's dead.
Wow!
Oh, Jingu, is it enough? No, 10
There was a
stacks,
huge
and all of a
misplay by
sudden,
Ahmed there.
just allowing that many stacks to just pile up.
9 stacks, and he was still chasing aggressively.
Yeah. Well, he tried to use the Jingu to try and heal through it, right? And that ends up with him dying. This is giving up an advantage that you had in a lane that shouldn't be going your way.
Yeah, but they're still ahead 1k, so they're still doing very well for themselves. But that was definitely not necessary.
Yeah.
50% damage reduction to creeps, guys, not heroes.
Ooh, Fly already used that Chikuchi, and, well, they've got the arrow coming in with the Star Storm. Fly trying to survive. Puts the Swarm on both these heroes, doing quite a bit of damage on the Jin-Q as well as Faith Beyond. Throwing out those right clicks, has the Aphotic Shield on him, so feels confident enough to continue to make these moves, and they're not even going to go for that bounty. They'll just throw a spear out. They've got 2 bounty runes picked up per team as Kaka comes over. 3 heroes here bottom. This is a little bit of surprise for me. LGD, they've kept Jin-Q and Faith Beyond bottom. I was really expecting 4 minutes to happen and Mirana would be mid.
It is always a little bit risky if you don't have an arrow setup, which they now do with the Spore RP. But before RP, it's really like, is Zeus going to catch the arrow net or not? You know, it's a bit of an RNG. Hex, check kill here on Magnus.
Yeah, they're looking to get this kill. Kaka's got him locked down, and there's the Thunder God's Wrath to get the kill. Jin-Q makes a rotation. Might get a trade here on a Kaka and will, so very well done there to at least get 1 in return. You really don't want to just be giving up kills unanswered.
Yeah, and this is now getting to scary territory where Bad Rider is level 5. Come level 6, this Bad Rider is in trouble. Like, if you get lassoed with like 3-4 stacks, you're just dead.
Invis rune picked up by Jin-Q.
But he's doing really well for himself. 38 CS on that Monkey King, which was considered to be a hard counter for the longest time.
Yeah.
So maybe this Bad Rider nerf is just really a little bit too much to handle.
Yeah, he's getting close to level 6 as well. Faith Beyond only level 4.
Now can see the Zeus being very close to Magnus in terms of net worth. And even though the CS doesn't look good, Monkey King is also very close to Bad Rider, which is surprising because he's like 20 CS more than him. Maybe
Yeah.
he brought out a lot of regen. Not sure.
That kill also, right?
Sure. But the supports are doing a lot better on the Dire side. Which is where the
they're
gold
leading
is
by
coming
quite a
from.
bit. You've got Innocence, who's well far ahead of Ollie at the moment.
That A is surprisingly huge.
Spear, and it does connect. They've got Kaka coming over with the Hex, but here comes Innocence. Arrow, tanked by the Abaddon. God's Rebuke gets thrown forward. They're going to focus their attention onto the supports, but the Mist Coil on a Kaka, they get the kill on a Faith Beyond. They end up losing Ollie at least. GQ not a lot of mana to work with. Innocence, though, turning around, cold feet. Kaka trying to fight this. He's going to lose his life, but Fly's got the Aphotic Shield. He can continue to chase.
There's a big stick.
And Innocence will survive. Lasso
Lasso
now
here.
onto the Monkey King. TP immediately from the Magnus.
Way too early. With 3 stacks, it's not enough damage. Yeah, that's a wasted lasso, 2 minutes cooldown. And it's just like, you used to be a lot stronger than you are, you know? Like, he would probably be 7 by now, but yeah, these nerfs, they really they add up, you know? You're lower level, you're lower farm, just overall your damage is a lot less. You gotta be able to compensate for that. And of course, the patch is very recent still, so.
That TP from Nothing to Say not only allows, you know, the save on a Monkey King if need be, but also puts him in the top lane, can give him power over to the Monkey King for the first time this game. So giving him that little bit of a boost for the next minute or so. And, you know, you try to at least see how Monkey King can continue to boost his farm, as he has fallen towards the middle of the pack, but at least for the moment, like, for Ame, I think things are going well. I'm still wondering if he is going to go, and he's not going to go for that Battle Fury. We talked about that before the camera was on us, whether or not he was going to go for the Battle Fury or the Maelstrom, and he does go to the Maelstrom. I know Ame does like the Battle Fury Ags. He kind of popularized the build recently in the region, but you know, he'll go Maelstrom here. I think that's the right choice. I don't know if you agree.
Definitely. Like, in general, I'm not a big fan of Battle Fury Monkey King. I feel like, okay, spear won't amount to anything. It's a little bit of Harris damage. Just feels Maelstrom has to fight much earlier, especially when you have a Magnus who already gives you the cleave, you know?
Right.
Maelstrom is a farming item, so it doesn't really slow you down by that much. It just allows you to fight earlier. It's probably going to go Maelstrom into Axe, into BKB. They're very standard build. Together with a Mag, he will definitely have a super, super fast game here.
And that's one of the things the panel kind of alluded to was LGD kind of have to play this aggression, make sure they can jump on Zeus before he's really effective from an outside range. Maybe do so the same to the Weaver, because you give him enough time to farm and all of a sudden he feels confident running through these fights while he's got the outside help from Zeus.
Yeah. The real problem here that I see for LGD is that Mars, okay, a little bit of trouble here for the Abaddon. He should just be dead. Haste on Magnus.
Yeah, should chase Ollie down, get the kill, Nothing to Say. He also has stacks to take. He's going into the Blink Dagger. He's only a couple hundred gold off of that, and this stack on the Ancients should get him there.
Yeah, I like that adaptation. Usually would go Echo into Blink, but he's also recognizing that Mars is having a really tough game, which I thought is very bad for LGD, because he is the guy that initiates and supposed to jump in first, you know?
Right.
Nothing to Say, realizing that Mars has a really bad game, switching it up, going Blink Dagger first. I really like that, because they need somebody to be able to jump in first.
Yeah.
And of course, Blink Up P can be very scary, very potent for the lineup they have. And we'll have to see how much damage the first Blink reveal can do, because IG won't be expecting that.
No, the early Blink from the Magnus, he backs up into the jungle. I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe a smoke come out. And, you know, you did say that Mars is kind of having a bad game here, and I wonder if that's why Jinkyu's kind of been tethered to bottom, because you don't expect that from a Mirana. You expect a little bit more movements, right? Where he's just more protecting Faith Beyond, staying here, because they've had a couple of times where 3 heroes have been bottom for IG, and well, Jinkyu, he's been in the right place at the right time to make sure that Mars doesn't die.
Yeah. It's a tough lane for Mars against Abaddon. RP.
Yeah, there's the RP onto the Batrider with the Ice Blast from Innocence. So he's got that level 6. That helps to blow up JT. The arena's used over bottom. They've popped the Aphotic Shield. They've got Jinkyu following this up with the Arrow. Starstorm gets the kill on Ollie, so that's a kill on each part of the map. But the Thunder God's Wrath finishes off Faith Beyond with the Ether Shock. And, well, it's a 2-for-1 trade. Does force rotations here towards bottom, which is okay if you're the Monkey King, who's under the guise of Moonlight Shadow, going after Fly for a second. They do have the sentry down. The Balance Strike will land and pop the Jingu, as Weaver's also going for a Maelstrom himself.
Yep.
A lot of lightning in this game.
Arrow? Wow, he just walked into it.
Yeah, Emo in a lot of trouble. Starstorm, Jinkyu survives and gets a solo kill onto the Zeus. Yeah, Innocence was there for a second, but it was all
outplayed
Jinkyu.
Zeus super hard.
Yeah.
Like, he did not expect that arrow there behind the tree. That's a big, big loss for them. We spoke about how important the Zeus is, you know, and his game. He's still having a fantastic game, don't get me wrong, but those 2 deaths have been very unnecessary, to say the least.
That's something that I would expect to see when we saw more of IG struggling back a couple months ago. Was
Sure.
kind of Emo making these missteps, and that would kind of make the
Lasso?
struggle there with Fly, and they've got the lasso on the Magnus. They've also got Emo here. Skewer back, trying to get to the high ground, but he's going to be short. Ice Blast coming in. That won't land, but Cold Feet, I think it flew over the Bat Rider. So he is
Very
affected by that
aggressive
Ice
move.
Blast, but he's not going to die from it.
Yeah, very aggressive move to get that region rune from the Magnus.
Yeah.
Pays his life for it.
So
Actually, Zeus has the same net worth as Magnus now. Of course, Magnus, he didn't really prioritize his own game. He did go for that Echo Saber early. He's running around quite a bit, just trying to make space for his monkey. But this Bad Rider is really, accumulating a lot of net worth compared to that Mars.
that's true. He is getting a lot of net worth, but is that really, how effective is that net worth? Because we've seen Bat Riders still feel ineffective with that net worth. And now Emo caught again. Ame's going to get the kill onto Emo. Jinkyu landing an arrow there. I wanted to say this a little bit earlier, but Jinkyu, he's been really impressive throughout the DPC, and he's been really impressive with LGD in general since he's come here. He really brings a lot from the forward position. In the hero pool he plays a lot of different heroes. You never know what he's going to play, and it keeps their drafts flexible, and he is very proficient with a lot of these heroes, and he's showing off his Mirana now against IG, who, when you think of Kaka, he plays Mirana really well as well. So it's cool to see Jinkyu performing quite well so far into this game.
Yeah, his movements around the map are always... Blink up here on Zeus again.
Yeah, if back-to-back deaths here on Emo are going to feel really bad. Nothing to say going in with that blink as well as the RP.
That's his 4th death.
Yeah, and he's still farming well, but these deaths are really going to slow his game down. But this is what we talked about LGD needing, was the aggression, shutting down of Zeus, and now we got to see if they can continue to stride forward, or if IG, being the strong team they are, kind of stop the push, park the bus, and find their time to turn this around.
Yeah. Funnily enough, we said that Bad Rider was the one struggling from the course, but now he's the highest net worth from the course of IG.
And he's got a blink dagger, so
Yeah,
they
it's a
might
blink
smoke
reveal.
themselves and try to get us a blink lasso. Question is on to whom, and
Monkey is the best target,
Yeah,
but he will also be the hardest one to find. Like, they know that he's at a triangle. Probably want to smoke up and go to a triangle. They know they have no RP. But LGD also knows that they know they have no RP, you know? So
that smoke was under the ward.
it was.
Scan comes out, and they're starting to put they're doing the right thing. I think LGD want to fight this, so they're putting their heroes nearby, knowing that they want to go for Ame, who they expect to be in the triangle. They're going to go to the Thunder God's Wrath as well as the lasso. They go after the Mars. They got a lot of damage out on the feet beyond. They'll get the kill. Jinkyu turning around, throws the arrow out. That's going to split the teams and hits on an Emo in the back lines. But they've already got the kill on Innocence and Faith Beyond, so there doesn't seem to be a follow-up from LGD. And even with LGD seeing the smoke, knowing where they wanted to go, they lose this fight. They lose too quickly.
Simply because they don't have RP, Mars has no Blink Dagger. I'm very surprised they chose to fight this fight, because they have no initiation. Like, who's going to go in first? Mars tried to, but he just gets hexed and gets blown up immediately.
Yeah.
I think the best choice is just to, evacuate the area, let them have it, farm the other side of the map, because there's nothing to gain without your RP at that point.
And knowing that that smoke's coming, I mean, that's an easy read at that point. You know where they want to go, because they're expecting Monkey King's going to be in the triangle. Like, that's the read. You've made the proper read, but you've improperly played it by trying to fight.
Yeah. The only way I can see this go Dire's way if
Balance strike.
Yeah.
Ooh, there's the
Gonna die.
jump with the Star Storm.
Arrow.
JT avoiding the arrow, but he stays close to the trees, and
kill.
Ame will get the kill again. So Ame continuing to find some farm and sits top of the net worth. Going for that axe, going into the BKB. You've called the build right so far.
racking up that net worth. It's really like the most cookie cutter build you can go. You're quite greedy, but not super greedy. You're
Yeah.
still able to fight early, and just offers you a lot of damage early on.
And that's the difference between the Maelstrom and the Battle Fury. You can't really fight Battle Fury. You still want one or two more items. There
Yep.
with the Maelstrom, you feel a little bit more confident in getting involved.
Exactly. Like the difference between Maelstrom and Battle Fury is just about 2,000 gold, which is just about the point booster as well as the Ogre X. You get a good 300 health in there. You feel much more comfortable to join fights.
Right. They do have the Echo Saber available on the Magnus. RP's back up, so wondering if they're going to try and smoke themselves. Faith Beyond now has the Blink Dagger, but that's just a mobility item. I probably like Faith Beyond to have another item to feel more confident, but at the same time, he's your initiator. You need him to blink and get that that arena down.
Yeah. He will need a BKB at some point. So they choose to show that Blink Dagger, no smoke up for them. Just get the bot tower to open up the map a little bit. But of course, now you have this strong initiation. Now you have the Magnus, now you have the Mars, who can both jump in.
There's the lasso coming through into Jinkyu. They'll also drop the Serpent Wards. It's going to be right by the Tier 1 tower. Thunder God's Wrath comes in to deter LGD from coming and defending. So they do get the kill into Jinkyu. They've dropped the Serpent Wards, which will help them secure the Tier 1 tower. This is well done there by IG.
I like the way Emo is using his Zeus ults. I can already see that somebody's gonna mess up a spell because of it. Maybe like some RP gets cancelled, you know? Because he's always using it at like a pretty unpredictable timing,
Yeah.
but just at the same time, you would want to blink in as a Magnus, you know?
Yeah,
Like, it just randomly comes out there. Yeah.
I see what you're saying with the timing. I kind of tell because it's not at the beginning of the fight. It's like maybe they get a little hesitant and they want to fight.
Instant Hex!
Oh, there's the Hex coming through, but the arena comes in. The RP's going to be used, and that lands onto 3. They get the kill on Kaka looking over at Emo. They should be able to kill the Zeus. Nothing to say now, needs to run. They've got the kill on the 2 as they blink forward, continue to put pressure onto the Magnus, but the arrow comes in. That lands onto the Batrider. They've got the Shockwave to follow it up. JT ends up dead. 3 heroes gone to the side of IG as Fly tries to make his way in. He's slowed up, has help from Ali, but won't pursue any further. However, he's gonna actually run into Nothing to Say, who will skewer back, but may not be out of harm's way. Fly trying to get the damage out, and he'll just TP out.
I am really confused by Emo's positioning in these team fights. Again, he was in RP range, right next to a Magnus.
He TP'd into it too.
How did he end up there? Like
Yeah.
he must have TP'd into the arena pretty much.
It was a bad spot for Emo to be in, and
They need his backline damage.
Yeah.
If he's alive there, they win this fight hands down. But he gets RP together with the Abaddon and the Shadow Shaman, who, by the way, had really quick hands there.
Yeah, that Hex was great.
Like, he blinked in on Nothing to Say, instant Hex.
But I almost want to say the Hex lost in the fight, because he would have used that RP earlier.
Sure, yes. yes.
And it ends up he gets to get it off after the Hex is done. He picks up the Zeus, and well, then he ends up getting 3 kills there. Yeah, they'll go for Roche. Fly's got the double damage. They're going to bring JT over. This is a big Aegis for IG. You know, Fly, I really like when he plays this Weaver. It's where I've seen a lot of his great performances when he used to play for Keen, when he used to play for Serenity. You know, this is the hero that he used to ball out with. But he needs help from Emo. He can't continue to have Emo be the guy who dies in all these fights. He's died 5 times. Like, he's struggling.
Oh, they do not have dust on the Batrider, so he's just going to be fine on the Mars. And he even went for Adelin's Blink Dagger, which is what you want to go for if you want, like if you're scared of your positioning, you know. But he still is getting caught out in these fights.
Yeah, he's moving too far forward. And that, I mean, that just stems also, we can see that from the first one. He was in melee range. Spear comes in, and that's going to hit onto the Abaddon. They've got the Ice Blast to follow it up.
Yep. And now we have Monkey Axe, all these little statues standing around everywhere, making it a little bit difficult to chase targets.
And not only does he have that Maelstrom in the Axe, but he's also obviously getting the benefits of the Empower. The farm that he gets with that, the extra damage coming through that he's going to be able to output.
He has to be careful here on Batrider. I mean, on Monkey King. They do not have the read right now, and he might be getting caught out here.
Oh, Jinkyu breaks the smoke, and I think they're very okay with that. It's a good pick off there for IG, but they definitely wanted more.
Well done there by Jinkyu, because Monkey King was in harm's way. Jinkyu blocks that smoke for him. And now it's tier 2 top time. They do have the Shaman wards, probably looking to drop it here. They don't have Zeus ult, they don't have Lasso, so the team fight isn't as strong. If LGD really wants to fight, they can.
Yeah, I wonder if they're going to hold the Serpent Wards to wait to see if anybody rotates in. No, okay, so they'll just drop them. They'll look to get the tower. That's going to be their first objective here. I'm okay with that. You know, I've seen Kaka be conservative with the Serpent Wards, which has cost them before, and now they're coming around the back. They've got the Ice Blast coming through as well as the arena. They hit the Spear. That's Ice Blast hitting onto 2. They've got the borrow time pop by Ali, but he's in a lot of trouble. They get the kill there onto GT. They've already taken to the Batrider. As they look over, Shackle comes in, and that is...
RP missed!
God,
oh no, he canceled it.
Kaka killed. Fly now trying to run. They've already taken out 1, and it's Innocence on LGD, but they found Emo. They land the arrow with the Yules, and Emo falls to Faith Beyond.
Emo out of position for the 6th time this game. Like, his deaths are not deaths that you can easily excuse, you know, like he's collateral damage. No, he's going in by himself and is getting caught out of position. That Ice Blast was massive, kills the Batrider, Abaddon under his borrowed time, 0 HP regained.
Look at Kaka. He's just standing there with the shackle holding down the Monkey King, but he's just giving up his life. Nothing to say.
He
Almost
canceled
used
last
that
second.
RP.
Yeah.
Jeez.
That was really well done. But you see, Emo, he's just on the side by himself, getting picked off again.
He's
Mars
not
with
far enough
initiation
away
here.
from that fight.
Possibly under Mirana ult.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Now nothing's gonna happen. But really, Emo has to, you know, shape up a little bit this game. Like, he's playing very sloppy Dota. It's not something we're used to seeing from him. He has always been this backbone of IG, really.
Yeah. I will say Fly-Fly's picking up the pace, though. Usually when we see Emo crumble, Fly-Fly follows suit. Like, that's one of the things that I've noticed
Arrow
with
on
IG.
him.
Arrow comes in, Ice Blast to
Blast.
follow it up. Do they have anything more with this? Cold Feet and
And he's
no.
good. Because, of course, Dota 2 interactions. You can... Oh, a bat in here, borrow time popped, and that's all they want.
They've got the Yules, though. They might follow this up with an arrow. He'll drop right on top of it. They should at least get one. Ooh, blanket from the Mars. The instant Hex coming out from Kaka. They've got the Serpent Wards down. They'll get the kill on a Faith Beyond. Kaka has been on it. But they've dusted up Fly-Fly, who's continuing to chase. He's got Dust of his own, goes after Innocence. One more shot needed to get the kill onto the Ancient Apparition, who will pop the wand and survive for a little bit longer, but the inevitability of his death is there. Fly-Fly getting the kill, and they've taken out 2 on LGD.
That was close. If that blink is 50 range longer, that monkey's lassoed, and they'll lose another hero.
So, what I'm wondering is, does Emo's approach to these team fights need to be different? Because he needs farm, he needs to get this Axe. He's got Boots of Travel. Can you sit in a lane if your team's gonna fight? Wait bots into, you know, the back lines. Find a creep wave that's coming into a fight if it's in lane. Try to find your way into the fights later, maybe.
I mean, he is doing that. It's just he's going in at a time where his team has 0% chance of winning the fight,
Right.
and then they just jump him immediately. Because they do have Monkey, they do have Mirana,
So they can
do
see
have
him.
Mars. And even Magnus too, you know. Like, he itemized in a way where you don't want to get caught ever. Adelin's Blink means you have a higher Blink range than other heroes, and you have the Boots of Travel for movement speed. So he really has to play around that. Because if he ever gets caught by anything, he's dead.
As we've seen pretty evident in this game. Arrow flying all the way over the cliff, but doesn't land on Ollie. He spots it and sidesteps it. BKB picked up, though, for nothing to say.
Magnus,
Fly-Fly looking for a pick-off on Innocence, but he gets past the tower. Fly-Fly won't dive that. Although that is a kind of play that Fly-Fly would make. He's a very aggressive player, and
Another
he'll
smoke
make
up.
those really high-risk moves if you know, he sees an opportunity.
Certainly. Seen it many times on his morph.
Yeah, that's the exact hero that I'm thinking on, where all of a sudden he gets caught out low or high in the agi and
Turns it
gets
around.
blown up. Yeah, that's actually the exact hero I think about when I think about Fly-Fly.
It's probably what most people think about when they think about him. Kaka
Ice
out of
Blast?
position and dead.
Yeah. Ice Blast comes in, Innocence gets the kill onto the Shadow Shaman. Kaka, who's been on it this game, you know, he just gets caught out by himself. And now they've got the Moonlight Shadow where they'll land the arena as well as the spear. Borrowed time is popped by Ollie. They're going to stand in front and try and stop him from TPing out. They've got the skill as well as the arrow coming in from Jin-Q. They'll get the kill on Ollie, taking on both supports on the side of IG. However, I will say Emo is getting some time to farm that Axe. And that's going to be a big power spike for IG. So we'll have to see how they play this.
And JT also with the BKB now, so the only way to stop him is that RP. And yeah, I mean, items are coming together for both teams. Network
Right.
still sitting very, very close. And we just have to see how this team fights go. Like, if Zeus is unchecked, he will deal a lot of damage, which is probably going to be the Achilles heel of LGD there, if they cannot get on top of him. And honestly, it's not that hard to stay out of harm's way. Once you have that Aghanim's, you can deal a lot of damage globally. You don't need to be there.
You could be even later in these fights.
Yeah. You just ult Nimbus, like an AA, he loses half health instantly, for example.
Or you just even throw Nimbus into the arena where it makes you uncomfortable for standing in the arena. That should probably help somebody if they do get caught, right? So you have a lot of options with a Nimbus where you can use it in a big utility of ways. Aggressively, zoning, defensively.
I mean,
you know,
Nimbus is just a great ability overall.
Yeah,
Probably one of the best axe upgrade in all of Dota.
100%.
And he went for Saint Jasha into BKB. Still, RP into AA Blast can blow up any hero this game.
It's a massive
Through
combo.
BKB as well.
And we're yet to see Wukong, so like that could be even the big nail in the coffin where you come in, RP, you set up the Wukongs, you've got the Ice Blast, you've got Ags, you've got Maelstrom. How many people are getting out of that? Not many.
Zeus ult popped.
Yeah, that's
Just
going to
a
get them
scout.
some information.
Yep.
Obviously a lot more prevalent. You know, Zeus is doing that when the cooldown was lower.
Yeah, now it's a lot longer. And at least it also deals more
Radiant's
damage.
bottom tower
Balance
is
out in
under
that way.
attack.
But yeah, Monkey also closing into that level 25, already sitting at level 20.
Good
We
job
all
here by
know
IG.
how that level 25 really impacts that hero.
They're going to look for the lasso. They want to try and get in on somebody. But
Yeah.
the hex again from Kaka. Man, he is on it.
Yeah.
I know I've said that a bunch of times already, but it's stopping Faith Beyond in his tracks every single time.
He really needs a BKB. He's probably going to have to pre-BKB before he blinks in. Kaka is
Oh, God, psychic headband for the Shadow Shaman.
more cast range, baby.
Is he going to get a shard as well and just start hitting shackles from, you
Full
know,
screen?
down full screen downtown? Oh my
5-man
God.
smoke up here. They do know where IG is. Zeus is not there. He's going to have a hard time connecting here. They have to be really
And he
careful.
doesn't have Thunder God's Wrath, so this is going to be a tough fight if they do in fact take it. They're going to lead with the Monkey King, jumps out of the trees, and now they're going to blink over. JT was trying to get the lasso out, and Ame won't catch him, but they throw it down in the Nimbus. Maybe that deters him, but the BKB being popped by JT. He TPs out, and this is a little bit of a botched initiation from LGD to the point
They
where
got him.
everybody but Kaka gets out.
Yeah. Arrow giving vision.
Enough to
Just
get,
in range there.
yep, enough so that they can get the kill onto Shadow Shaman.
If that lasso there lands on the monkey, he's dead. It was a very quick reaction by JT. But again, the second time where he just blinks a little bit off, you know.
Interesting.
Like 50 range.
Has been killed.
Better rather what?
He's taking the Mystic Headband.
Oh yeah, for the
Psychic
lasso range, which has been broken him twice so far. Abaddon going to the Roche pit. His ult's going to be popped immediately here. They don't want to give up his Roshan. Nimbus at the pit as well.
Yeah, but they've already got the Aegis. Nimbus was there, but it's not going to do enough with the BKBs being popped. Ollie, borrowed time popped, and he's very dead.
That's a huge loss for Radiant here. Not only did they lose Roshan, they also are going to lose the whole map control now. 6k lead now for LGD.
Oh,
And
actually,
this Monkey King is massive.
Kaka does take the Psychic Headband.
Yeah,
So,
makes more sense at
Yeah,
the end.
JT had both the Quickening Charm as well as the Psychic Headband, and then
Surprised that they don't give the quickening to Zeus. He is like one of the most cool independent heroes in Dota.
Radiant's middle tower has been denied.
Orbit Corrosion, and then Titan Sliver and Quickening Charm for the dire side.
Yeah, they're definitely happy with
Radiant
those.
are scanning.
Zeus going into a Dagon. I hope he doesn't go through with that. Like a refresher makes much more sense.
Yeah, I think you have more opportunity, obviously, to use the Refresher than you do anything else. They've got the Moonlight Shadow, but they're going to blink as well as use the Lasso. Thunder God's Wrath comes in. The Hex is immediately onto the Monkey King. They've also got the Serpent Wards down. The Ice Blast comes in. That's going to hit on the Weaver. They're looking for the Wukong's command, but the damage is already done on the Monkey King. They've popped the Aegis. They've got the kill on a Faith Beyond. Faith Beyond buys back. They've got Monkey King coming back in just a second, but he's under the Nimbus, so he gets shocked for a second. Ame already starting to retreat in LGD. They bought back on the Mars, but they don't want to go for this. At least not at this moment. They're looking for maybe an arrow to connect, but just sitting too far back. Aegis already used. Oh, Batrider playing aggressive. Excuse me. Arena comes in. JT's caught in the arena, but the spear misses, so he's free to TP.
So much aggression coming out of IG, even without all their ults. I felt like they could have easily turned it around on IG. But choosing to play it defensively, you don't want to have like a botched RP suddenly.
Yeah.
And then it can turn into a whole new level of disaster real quick. Weaver now itemizing into the Skadi.
Cheese picked up. Was Cheese always sitting there, I guess? Guess nobody picked it up.
Yeah, she's now on the Monkey, who is also going for the Abyssal Blade. Already has it finished, actually. So another level of disable through BKB.
Yeah, and that's a big, you know, we talked about the lack of disables on LGD. You pick up more, and, well,
It's
it's
good.
not an arrow. It's not a skill shot. You just land the Abyssal Blade, you jump down on somebody, and you try to get a kill.
Especially on Monkey. Like, you Abyssal summon, your Wukong's on top, you stun them with Boundless, and they're gonna be stuck in that Wukong for at least 2-3 seconds. Which, of course, is a massive amount of damage.
Yeah.
Kaka finishes BKB now. But
Yeah.
we just said they do have multiple ways of canceling that.
We'll see if they can land them. I know it's a 6K lead for LGD, but the last 4 or 5 minutes or so, I think I've liked from IG, despite the fact they gave up the Aegis. I think that last fight especially, they showed that they can play it. They showed a lot of restraint, not pushing the envelope. If they felt uncomfortable in that spot, they backed up, they got what they could, and now they're continuing to farm. So it looks good from IG, and this game seems a lot closer than 6K. That's for sure.
The thing is, IG really has the tools to blow up anyone. If they do lasso the Monkey King, they have no saving supports, so he will get blown up immediately during that lasso. Whereas it's a little bit easier to play for IG, where they have the Abaddon who can possibly bail out someone. But again, if they get on top of Zeus, he's done. Whether there's an Abaddon there or not, he will just die.
They're looking to go over mid. They've got the lasso coming into the Magnus as well as the arena down, but the Hex comes out instantly from Kaka as well as the BKB. The Wukong's command comes in. Nothing to say, getting really low. Ice Blast is thrown forward. That hits on a Kaka. They also use the Abyss Away. They get the kill on a Kaka and they lose Nothing to Say, who's dead for 80 seconds. And look over at second at Fly.
Double damage?
Double damage. They can just turn. They can just go for this. They've got the silence on Ame for a second. Oh, God, the stun is he's trying to throw the balance stroke with the BKB pop. Now, Ame, man fighting, going after Fly. Gets the bashes. Ooh, forces out the ult from the Weaver. They're going to continue to chase, though. They've got Fly running away, but the spear into the balance strike. What a combination. They just won't be able to pick up anything from that because it doesn't skewer on the side on any trees. So he Shikuchi's away. They get the kill on Ali. And it's only a kill onto a support when it looks so close that they were going to get Fly, even with the double damage.
Yeah. The problem here was that Bad Rider was just completely out of mana, so the fight, even though they were 4 alive, it was effectively a 2v4 because Zeus was also very scared of getting jumped on top of him. We can see, once a hero gets lassoed, like this Magnus, if he was really tanky, he will just die. Abaddon there pops ult very nicely after the RP, shields off the RP from the Bad Rider, and they do still think they can take the fight after he picks up the DD, but as I said, Bad Rider, 0 mana. The fight is effectively 2v4 because the Zeus is very, very scared too, sitting there on the left side of the screen, and then he's just battling it out with the Monkey King, who has a basher, is a very, very tough task.
Yeah.
He keeps getting bashed up. Even though you have the DD, you don't really deal that much damage to this Monkey King right now.
God, that spear.
Yeah.
If that latches to anything, he's dead.
He's dead for sure. But the problem is really the itemization from that Weaver is not damage. He went Maelstrom into St. Jasha into BKB. It's very defensive. Then even the Skadi won't really deal that much damage either, you know? It really comes down to that Zeus and that Bad Rider to deal damage.
Shadows take us.
He's just kind of like the frontline guy that gives information for your team, you know?
Yeah. I have a question for you hopefully before this fight goes off. But after BKBs are used, who has the advantage in these fights?
Definitely Radiant.
Definitely Radiant? Okay. Because I know obviously
Bad
Zeus
Rider
is
and
there.
Zeus.
Yeah. But if they've used all their mana, like in the last fight, then it's not as one-sided, right?
Yeah. I mean, the fight started with Bad Rider having like only 600 mana.
Kaka. But JT's also
Oh,
here.
man.
Oh, they've got the blink. The balance strike. Oh, lasso used. Ice blast in. Kaka falls to Ame. And now JT's able to TP out.
He just TP'd out without BKB. That was so risky. Mirana was so close to dueling him. But turns out okay. 5 heroes there to kill a Shadow Shaman. That's all right. Lasso should be up in about a minute's time. Skadi almost finished up on Weaver. But they will lack damage. Like, if Zeus is not in a comfortable position where he can deal all his magic damage, they will lack quite a bit of damage. And Weaver needs at least 1 damage item.
Yeah.
Whether it's a Daedalus or an MKB, you need something.
I really like this. The Axe into the Shard. We've seen how strong the Shard is.
It really is. Abaddon caught out of position again.
Yeah, Ollie looking very dead. Borrowed time. It's going to be a problem. Ice Blast comes in, and now coming around the other side. Fly balance strike. That comes in. Innocence is going to survive, but the Flame Break, is it enough? He'll burn. Will he melt? Ooh, I think he will, yeah. Innocence dying to JT.
Yeah, so just a 5-for-5 trade, which is a lot better for IG, honestly, because the Abaddon is very, very poor. And A is quite rich.
Yeah, he's got 8,300 gold. Oh my god.
Most of this gold it really just comes not from the core difference, but from the support difference.
Yeah, I mean, there's a difference between the Bat and the Mars, but look at the Monkey King compared to the Weaver.
Monkey King is massive, yeah. But you can also see that the Magnus is not really prioritizing his own game too much. He's empowering the Monkey a lot. You can see it in the difference in net worth as well.
Yeah.
Sitting at a 16k there. But the Monkey King is massive. He has a Satanic now picked up as well. He's nigh unkillable.
Now, Monkey King having 1 death, Fly having 0. So, you know,
So
despite
far.
the fact that they're down 6k, Fly has stayed elusive.
He can die in a second, though. You get stunned in a Wukong, you're done.
Yeah. Has to have that time lapse.
And he's level 25 now. We get an additional Wukong's Ring, which is a really scary talent on that hero.
Especially with how conjoined these fights have been, where they've just been right next to each other.
Yeah. Like, even the Zeus, you know, you do not have enough cast range to outrange that last Wukong's Ring. So you do need to take that fight away from the Monkey King. Unless you can burst him first, because we said they have no saving.
There was a smoke here used by LGD. They're going to use
They saw it, though.
the jump, Tree Dance, Thunder God's Wrath. That gets them the information.
Dire Our scan.
Scan comes out, and now LGD know exactly where IG are.
It's tough to fight now for IG. It's really scary. They have RP, they have Wukong's command, they have Abyssal Blades, they have a lot of forms of initiation.
They watch that courier just go right to the Weaver, so they have all that information. I assume IG already know that with the Abyssal Blade getting used on Takaka. They get the kill into the Shadow Champ, they look over at Ali, and they will be able to finish him after the borrowed time is up as that spear latches, keeping him close. 5 heroes around him. They've got themselves 2. JT thinking about going in, but that's not the proper move. Oh, RP!
whiff!
It's a whiff from nothing to say! Now when it misses down, they've got the right hook damage coming out from Fire with the BKB being used here by the Batrider. They've got the lasso on the 2 heroes. This is the axe from JT! They get the kill on Ame. They're going to look over as the Ice Blast hits onto a couple of these heroes with the BKB being popped by Fly. They have the Shackle from such a long range from Kaka. They get the kill on a Phase Beyond. They're taking out 2 of these heroes. They don't have buyback on the side of LGD. Fly unstoppable, and IG, they have found a way to potentially be back into this game because that is a long time for these 2 heroes to be dead, and Roche is on its way soon. They also have the Serpent Wards. They can push, they can take objectives. IG have found an opening.
They don't have the Zeus TP, however, so this fight will be a 3v3 for quite a while. But of course, it's Magnus, AA, Miranda, they have no damage. Mars is dead, and Monkey King is dead, who is the biggest damage that they have. Arrow, Batrider, AA ult as well. Half health.
He's got that shard, so he does do some damage there. They also thrown out the Chilling Touch, the Ice Blast, the attempted a TP, and will be successful.
Probably gonna lose a Rex still. Arrow though.
Hits on
And
the
his arrows
Weaver.
are just hitting everything.
This is the big thing, though, if they had that RP.
It was a big whiff for sure. And it was really close too. Monkey King has Satanic if he just gets 1 hit off. But no, the bolt stuns him last second and kills him off. 1 hit really just heals him by 600. Suddenly the entire fight goes a different way.
Yeah, and the game flops off that. You've got Refresher Orb available on the Zeus. If they could get control of this Roche that's about to be up, that's a big problem for LGD. They need to go after this Roche. They need to be in the proper positioning, but they still have 24 seconds before they've got everybody back up for the side of LGD. So IG are certainly,
BKB
I would say,
use.
in the driver's seat.
Oh, BKB available though. I don't think LGD saw it, but that's a big misclick as well.
Ooh, they also
Seeing
have the shard.
Oh, they did see it. They saw it under the Observer Ward.
So now they know that they can make a play over on a Roche, which is going to be done right now. We take a look back at this fight. They've got the arena down. They get the kill on Ali in this one. And BKB start to get low. Fly JT wait on the side. You can see them waiting for their opportunity.
Back into the game though. Monkey King used BKB.
Yeah,
and Wukong's for nothing.
Yeah, but he's got the Wukongs. Is this zoning enough where they can control the area and get themselves the Aegis?
Roche is not dying fast enough.
It doesn't look like it's dying fast enough as they're going to make the jump in. That's a bash coming out from Roche. Ali moves forward, trying to maybe get a silence and steal the Aegis.
Oh, he got it!
He's got it! I can't believe he's picked it up. The Ag's Blessing was picked up by the Monkey King, though. They get the kill here onto Ali, but it's only going to be the Aegis. He swiped it away from the side of LGD. They get the kill onto the Abaddon, while Mars is all the way on the other side, dying again. He has no buyback.
Oh my god, this broken interaction. Did you see that? Batrider lassoed his teammate, but because of his axe, he lassoed an enemy as well on a 20 seconds cooldown. I didn't know it works like that.
I didn't either.
He just lassoed the Mars while saving his teammate.
That's a wild interaction.
That's on 20 seconds cooldown also. That is crazy. I did not know it works like that.
So they gave the Ag's Blessing to Mirana. Let's take a look at this fight one more time. Watch JT if you guys did not notice this in your fight, as he's going to
Look
come
at that.
over, lassos Kaka,
So
keeps
good.
Kaka alive. They're both like, what's going on here? And Mars is dead while Kaka's taking no damage.
And Ollie snatched the Aegis while all that went on in the pit.
And he walked into the pit. He
did.
walked in with authority.
However, they did get the Aghanim shot on who? I didn't
On
quite catch it.
Mirana.
On Mirana, okay. Not the best Aghanims, not the worst. It will deal a little bit more damage. But of course, that Axe, I mean, that Aegis is really what you were looking for here on that Monkey King.
Wow.
Cheese on the Weaver as well. So he picked up 2 items on Ollie. Aegis and Cheese.
Could have swiped all 3.
If he picks up that Aghanims too, suddenly there's a Baron has an Aghanims. Whoa, that would have been wild. But
So
luckily they took it
Ollie's
away
my
from him.
MVP.
Yeah. Luckily they took it away from him. But with that Batrider play and mechanic that he just taught me, JT's my MVP for now.
That's such a wild interaction. That means you're getting a lasso for 20 seconds.
Yeah, they're smoked up here again.
Yeah, they want to go for
Fight this.
Ali. They're going to look over. They hit the Boundless Strike. Thundergod's Wrath comes in. You need to be careful, but they'll use the Abyssal Blade. They've got the lasso coming in, and it's the lasso again! It's the interaction again! Ali, he's going to be saved there. They go to Ame. They've got the arena down. I can't believe this interaction is saving them on this game. Ali, he's getting low. Kaka with the BKB. He's looking to hang on and get the kill on a Phase Beyond. He gets the kill on the Mars. They're both gone without buyback.
Lasso and 5. They have to be careful
God,
here.
they have lasso again.
Dyer's bottom
This is a wild interaction. I did not know. This is crazy. And Monkey King
game
again.
changing.
He got jumped without BKB activated once more. He has to be really careful. If he ever fights without BKB, he just gets blown up. This is where the Zeus really comes into play. All that magic damage is just crazy. You see, he just drops from 100 to 0 in one lasso.
Oh my god.
And they have nothing to save him. They have no saving supports, no saving heroes. The only thing they can do is possibly RP the Weaver, but Zeus is dealing the most of that damage.
It seems like they need a godly RP to make anything happen, but they're 50 seconds without Ame.
That's a second side for sure, at least.
If not 3.
They still have a tier 2 bottom on Dire, so at least they have to chew through that. We'll have to see if they go for the tier 4s or start to play it safe and take the bot tower instead. But mid side is definitely gone. This Shaman Wards do too much damage.
26 for Monkey King, 25 for both the Zeus and the Weaver, about to be 25 for the Bat Rider as well as the Magnus. And the experience is certainly in the hands of IG.
That was close. Now with that new tech, maybe Bad Rider will get a little bit more popular again. I've never seen anyone do that.
No, me either. Kaka,
Shackle.
Shackle with the Lotus, but they've got the RP! It's onto the Weaver! He's up to the tier 4s! They get the kill on a Fly, take him out, 99 seconds, he does have buyback to look over at Kaka. Can they stop his TP? They'll kill him, and Innocence gets the kill, and they'll also take out Ollie. Nothing to say gets the kill there, and it will be 3 dead on the side of IG. LGD finds something, but it is a lot lost for just that.
And Kaka, no buyback. If 80 seconds, Weaver might be forced into a buyback here. However, Zeus is very good at defending these towers. We'll have to see if they can breach high ground or not. If Weaver bites back, that is suddenly a winning condition for the Dire team. If he dies one more time. This was very, very over-aggressive from Kaka there. Like, there was no reason to do that on an AA. It's an AA. Doesn't matter at all whether you kill him or not.
Yeah.
Big risk, doesn't pay off at all.
Backdoor, Glyph, trying to make something happen here.
50 seconds on the Weaver. They can probably hold it. They might have to give up one side, possibly 2, depending on how much damage they deal here.
You're up set of racks in half. I think you should be willing to give it up. You don't buy back on Weaver.
This is way too
Unless they
big of a
force
risk.
tier 4s and all of a sudden you feel pressure like that, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Not against that Zeus. It's way
They
too much
do
cast
have
range.
Wukongs here, and that's with the extra radius, and maybe they can fight on the high ground if they're willing to risk it, but it is a big risk, and there it is. They're going to go for the last one. Let's
Protection
go
again!
It goes over the Abaddon. That means it's going to be on cooldown for 20 seconds. They've got the arena down, but it's just going to be zoning the Ice Blast coming in, and it only hits on the Emo.
Lasso on
It'll
10.
hit onto the Zeus. They've got Lasso set up in 10 seconds. They're looking to get this Rax. The Thunder God's Wrath comes in, as well as the Lotus Orb that's going to be on the Ame. They'll use the Boundless Strike that hits onto the back lines, hitting onto the Bat Rider, as well as the Abaddon. They hit the Spear on the Ollie.
Hold up.
He's already used the borrowed time. Looking for the Lasso.
He got
He's
arrowed.
stunned up. He got arrowed. They get the kill there on the Ollie. They take out this Abaddon, and they will use that Moonlight Shadow to escape. They've taken a set of racks. They get the racks that they came for. They get a kill, and they will back up unscathed.
I love the way Abaddon is just running in. He's like, yeah, lasso me. You got the guy behind me too. They're so afraid of actually hitting that Abaddon now.
And they're going to go after
Kaka going in again.
Serpent Wards, they're here. Nimbus coming in. They've got
Lasso
the
on
Lasso.
two.
Oh dear. Faith Beyond, Jinkyu, both taken out. No buyback available for the Marana.
I always keep saying lasso on 2, but it's just on his teammate. And it's a 20 seconds cooldown again.
And what I've noticed, it's on purpose.
It is on purpose, for sure.
Ollie's so tanky that he runs in and he's your lasso target. He just stands next to anybody. You lasso Ollie on purpose, and then you're saving the Abaddon, pulling another hero, getting it on cooldown for 20 seconds.
But it's also because he has borrowed time, of course. If he's
so
ever in
strong.
trouble, he will just pop the borrowed time, you lasso him anyway. And it's just his cooldown reduction is too strong.
Yeah.
It's like minus 70 seconds cooldown, basically, on every lasso.
Yeah, and it's basically free when you know Ollie's not going to die immediately.
Yeah.
That's absurd. That's
It's a
such
great
an
way
interaction.
to also force the BKB, because BKB, 70 seconds cooldown, lasso 20. After BKB, we said they cannot fight against the Zeus. It's a perfect way of baiting it out.
Somewhere, someone is screaming, how is that allowed?
OS Frog.
There's definitely a lot of that in chat, for sure. Oh my god, and yet it feels like IG are so strong right now, and they are still down AK, but it feels like this is their game still. It feels like it's theirs to lose.
Lasso?
They've got Draft, they've got the Lasso coming out onto the Ancient Apparition. There's no saving Innocence on this one. They've dropped down an Nimbus. They'll get the kill on Innocence. He does have buyback.
But
That
this
is
time,
another kill.
Long lasso cooldown. This time it's on 110 seconds rather than 20.
Ollie didn't run up and just,
Yeah, he's like, Ollie, what are you doing, man?
where are you?
Bro, now I had to lasso him.
God, Aether. Oh, man.
he's going-
Arcane rune.
Zeus is giving an arcane rune to
You know
his
they've got a
ally.
plan.
Yeah.
That's
However, his axe is in the backpack right now.
for now.
For now, yes.
He'll
80
pop
seconds.
that arcane rune and swap in.
It's actually 90 seconds cooldown reduction, by the way, not 70.
That's
That's wild. That's crazy.
NA math. They'll go for the bottom tier 2. Data is picked up here for the Weaver. They've got the Hex. They've got the Hex in the Shackle. RP comes in, trying to save this Monkey King who pops the BKB, trying to get the Wukongs off, but he's under the Nimbus. It's a Venn diagram of Nimbuses. They have the arena that's only going to be down around Ali, who's popped the borrowed time. Flame Break pushing Faith Beyond back. They're going to retreat into the Wukong's command. Nothing to say, needing to get out of this one, but Flyby trying to come in. Right clicks through, only doing a little bit of damage on a nothing to say, but they've used Wukongs, they've used RP, they've used the arena, they've used everything on LGD, and they get nothing for it but a kill onto a Shadow Shaman.
And they still have wards available. We might see them here try to pressure the high ground. I don't know if they quite will, because they also don't have Lasso available yet, and they don't have all the Zeus ults, as well as Nimbuses. A lot of expanded on both sides.
52 seconds till Thunder God's Wrath, so they might take it easy for a little bit. Also, Perspective Roche. That's coming in soon.
Roche, yes. They do, however, have the Shaman wards, and they don't have an easy way of clearing them on the Dire. So they can just potentially put down the wards, see what happens.
Hex, Serpent Ward, Spear though, that's gonna land! Uh-oh, Flyby, he's been caught! Ami trying to get the kill here, they get the kill on a Flyby, they're gonna take him out for 100 seconds, he's gone with buyback, borrow time, Popeye Ollie once again, they're gonna continue to chase, there's nothing to say, he's looking over, he's got that Shadow Blade, so he's invis for the moment, but he's gonna be spotted as the lasso comes out and again on Ollie, it's a 20-second cooldown, they've also got the lasso on, nothing to say, who pops the BKB, still going after Ollie, should be able to get the kill with the rest of the team following this one up, as Emo, he's been found, pops the BKB, and they get the arena around on JT, they've caught the Bat Rider, they'll follow it up with an arrow, they'll get the kill onto the Bat, and take out 3. That is a successful fight for LGD. They've picked up the refresher on Monkey King, and now Roche. It's a long ways out, but still looks like a possibility for LGD to take.
Yeah, 150, or rather 130 seconds, or 130, what am I saying? 100 seconds until Roshan is up, and AMAF again. They'll probably just try to pressure the high ground here, possibly get a second side, equalize the Rex count. But very sloppy there by Fly. Getting caught out by a spear, just getting speared onto the tower. They have to be very careful. It's very hard for them to save him. You know, Abaddon does have a 4-step, but he doesn't have a blink dagger. He can't immediately reposition himself.
Right.
So Fly needs to watch it a little bit more, because these mistakes in this late game scenario are always very, very costly. Especially if you fight into a lineup without RP and Monkey ult. You know, you don't want to die like this.
Roche up in, it seems like forever. It's just
minute.
taking so long.
Yeah, still 1 minute. And they're all just waiting there. Like, they're expecting it to spawn very soon, but they're losing a lot of potential pressure here. I feel that they could have at least
Forced
gotten
the
the map
buyback,
control
maybe?
back.
Yeah.
Like, at least to push the bot lane all the way back to their side, you know? But it's still knocking on the Dire side right now. A lot of information given here to IG, who are now down 15k. But it really doesn't matter at this point.
I think the net worth does matter at this point.
It's
With
too
the way
much
these
damage coming out from
interactions are
both
going
teams.
and the damage, yeah. We're 50 minutes into the game, 10 minutes till tier 5s. You've got an Abyssal Blade now picked up by the Mars. Like, this is more control that LGD need to take these fights. The fights are leaning 50-50, I think, at this point. It's 16k, and I'm sorry, I just said this, but throw the net worth number out the window. I don't think it feels like it matters that much.
This Monkey refresher could really turn the tide as well. Like, this double Wukongs, double Abyssal, double BKB can make a huge difference. And we said it. Without BKB, you're very vulnerable, and he recognized that as well.
Who do you give the Ags to this time? For either side. Ooh. Smoke.
Ollie,
Primal
careful.
Spring. Ollie. Balance Strike misses.
Missed, yeah.
But that's where
Shadow
they
Blade
are,
on
and now you
Magnus.
know it.
They just dropped the gem on Bad Rider because
Roche
he
is
died.
available. Hex picked up by the Ancient Apparition. He's so farmed.
Yes, they already are.
He's level 22. If he gets that 25, the AoE cold feet could be a
Wukongs.
problem. They're going to use this Wukong's to zone. They'll stun up Ollie for a second, who pops the borrowed time. He's going to try and run in again. This madman's going to try. He's running in to be the lasso. The RP comes in. They've got themselves the Serpent Wards as well as the BKB pop by Kaka, but that's going to be the arena down on top of Emo. But Emo's got the BKB as well as the
Monkey
TP.
King.
They'll get the kill on the Kaka. They look over. There's the Abyssal on the fly by Wukong's once again. He's got the Refresher Orb. Balance Strike hitting from a distance. Now the Yule's coming in. Do they have the lockdown? Oh, no, not just yet. He gets it off, but Chikuchi is not enough. Nothing to say. He ends up getting the kill on a Flyfly, and Flyfly's going to buy back as they look over as the lasso is going to be on Ollie. Once again, they've blocked up as far as they get the kill on a Faith Beyond.
Monkey, no BKB, no refresher.
No BKB, no refresher
yes,
for
BKB.
Ame. They're going to continue to chase. The Lotus Orb is going to pop that Mist Coil back onto Ollie, and they'll stop in their tracks now. Emo with no mana to help them out, so IG need a refresh on everything, and they need to wait a second before they can go in. They need the mana onto this Zeus.
One more BKB available on the Monkey King. IG can't fight this, I think.
Ali again looking to run in. Such a cheeky play. He's looking to just be the lasso guy. And I'm so okay with that. The Abyss Blade comes out. They've got the Ice Blast following it up on Emo, who's popped the BKB, but the Abyss Blade comes in. They're going to get the kill on Emo as well as JT. Emo, he does that buyback, but the arrow comes out onto Ali. They'll get the kill to the Abaddon, and now they've got 3 heroes with no buyback. There is the arena. It's down around Fly, but he's forced to use the time lapse and leave. All of a sudden, it's a 30k lead for LGD, and they will take the 4th Roche.
And they also have buybacks. Only one buyback available on the Zeus. Weaver expanded his. Might just be over now. It's all but over, really. Like, I don't see how they can just defend everything with just 2 heroes.
Yeah,
Zeus, of course, is very, very strong. Can almost spam out of Fountain, but they have so many ways of jumping him. They have multiple Abyssal Blades, long-range stuns, and they don't have the tools to defend the Throne. We see if they go for Throne or Creed. Okay, they do decide to go for the safer route. They do know they don't have buybacks. They used them all in the last fight.
Top is a tier 2. Got that Ags on Faith Beyond. Toggle on, toggle off, toggle on, toggle off. That's the trick to
now
it.
They
They'll
go
get
for
the tier
tier
3, and now they're over to the tier 4s trying to make something happen. 7 seconds until they've got Kaka back alive. They're going to use that glyph and throw it on the Nimbus. Wukong zoning, trying to get the damage out with the ulti of the Thunder God's Wrath. Ame, though, back to full health, takes out the Nimbus. They look over, they found the Magnus. They'll get the kill, nothing to say. He's forced to buy back with the BKB pop here by Faith Beyond. They look over, Innocence as well. Faith Beyond are sitting low, but they've got the Abyss Blade as well as the Ice Blast. Time lapse is used by this Weaver. Fly getting out of harm's way. But still, the tier 4s are being damaged. They're being taken out, and they've already got themselves one. They're looking over as the Monkey King is trying to stand his ground as he got that
RP
Aegis
available.
Satanic on cooldown. The Aegis exposed. They've got the RP that lands on Akaka. They'll get the damage out onto the Shadow Shaman. They should be able to get the kill. They'll take him out for 95 seconds without buyback.
He's hitting the Throne on Monkey.
Fly and Emo are the only 2 that stand, but the Ancient will fall, and LGD will take game 1 over IG in a thriller of a game 1. Wow. That was such a game 1, such a way to start the series. That interaction had me excited the entire time. Ali was literally just the lasso guy.
It was like a lasso guy.
Yeah.
Lasso me, lasso the other guy with it. It's a wild interaction. It almost won them the game,
Yeah.
but ultimately it was just too hard to fight.
That was wild.
LGD just played like really well, you know. Like they had this one missed RP, but other than that, nothing to say. They played really well. Just overall, the team